Saritha as well, the New York Attorney General candidate, is here. So we would like to say hi to her. Come on up and say hi. Hey, my name is Don Peavy with Celebrate America.
Wonderful.
We're live in Oneida County.
How's everyone?
And a lot of folks out there are just excited to see the large gathering of folks here and actually see you here when you could be anywhere in the state. Why did you choose Utica?
Well, I love being here. It's so exciting to join Oneida County for this parade. Happy July 4th, everyone. I'm so proud to be an American today, every day, and it's really a day to celebrate that. And you know, I'm just trying to make sure I meet everyone in New York State. And that's kind of impossible, but we're going to try anyway. We are going to 7 different counties this weekend, celebrating with everyone that we can on this common ground. We all love our country. We all want to make it stronger and better, and that's what we're here for. So I really appreciate, just being a part of this and being able to be an American. It's the greatest country in the world.
It's really great. It's impossible to be anywhere on social media without seeing you out there.
Thank you.
I am just impressed, as are many of the folks in the communities that want to learn about the different changes that you're trying to bring about in New York State.
Yeah.
And we've been so suppressed in so many different areas in the past 10 years here, and you seem to be making some pretty positive claims with respect to what you think you can do to make changes here.
Well, this is the thing. I think, the Attorney General's office actually has the power to do a lot of good if you use the authorities and the resources of that office to help New Yorkers deal with problems like crime. The AG can actually prosecute crime. You can deal with problems like mental illness because there's civil commitment laws in New York. You can deal with problems like homelessness because we can actually investigate the homeless shelters who keep taking more and more money every year but producing fewer and fewer results. If you use those powers appropriately and fairly in a non-political way, we're going to actually improve the lives of New Yorkers. And that's why I think of this race as just a race about helping every New Yorker. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about making our state stronger.
And you mentioned in a non-political way, and it's so tough for Americans out there today, New Yorkers out there today, to interface with this political structure that is sometimes very difficult to negotiate for just average voters out there.
Yeah.
It's either you're all the way left, you're all the way right, and if you're in the middle, you succumb to pressures that make it difficult for the average person to vote regardless of their party. Who is the best candidate? How do they choose?
Yeah, listen, I get it. It's stressful. Politics can be kind of stressful, and that's why I think it's really important to have at least one law enforcement official at the state level who's not about that, who you don't have to worry about politics, who's just looking out for you. I think there's a time and a place for politics. We can debate laws in Congress, we can debate policy in the media, even in town halls. But when it comes to safety and public safety, keeping every New Yorker safe, you shouldn't play politics with public safety. That's not the place for it.
That is so true. And if you look at that same principle rolled out to local laws and responsibilities of state government to apply law fairly across the board versus on a political stratum that isolates certain people for every law that gets passed and furthers left or right causes, it's difficult for the people to understand how people in positions like you're running for can be apolitical in that environment.
Well, I was a federal prosecutor for 12 years. I worked for more than 10 U.S. attorneys, presidents of both parties, and I was taught that you're supposed to look at the facts, look at the law, and do the right thing, regardless of politics. That's how I'll approach the AG's office. It'll be a huge change, and we're going to make New York a lot better.
Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us here. I hope that clears up some of those concerns out there for people that think they're voting for a left or a right-based political person when your job is just to apply the law.
Yeah, and protect people, right? Look out for people's safety. That's the job. Everyone's safety, period.
Thank you so much.
Brought to you by Celebrate America USA, honoring its past, shaping its future.